Are you feeling lonely even when surrounded by people? Stay tuned as we uncover the surprising benefits of connecting with strangers. Welcome to Cheap Talk. Today we're diving into something super relatable, the power of strangers. It's like, have you ever felt that weird disconnect even when you're surrounded by people?
Totally. Like you're physically close, but socially miles apart. It's almost like everyone's living in their own little bubble.
Exactly. This article talks about how we've become almost indifferent to strangers, like roommates living under the same roof for months without talking, avoiding eye contact in the elevator. It's the classic stranger danger mentality, but amplified.
Right? And it's not necessarily a bad thing, though, is it? I mean, keeping your distance can be a form of self preservation, right? Less drama, less hassle.
Yeah, definitely a valid point. The article mentions strangerization as a byproduct of societal shifts and urbanization, kind of like a defense mechanism, but it also questions if we're missing out on something valuable by actively choosing this detachment.
I see what you mean. So, what are we losing out on? What's the upside of interacting with strangers?
Well, the article argues that these weak ties, those brief interactions we have with people we don't really know, are surprisingly important for our well being. They can actually combat loneliness and give us a sense of belonging.
Oh, really? That's interesting. I always thought close relationships were the key to happiness.
Same here. But studies have shown that those small, seemingly insignificant interactions can have a huge impact. Like, remember during the pandemic lockdowns?
Oh, for sure. I remember when we could only see family and close friends. Those everyday interactions were totally cut off. And then the article mentions how a lot of research found that the lack of those interactions actually intensified feelings of loneliness. It's crazy how much we crave those little connections.
Totally. I remember reading something about that in the article too. Someone's diary entry talking about missing strangers and those chance encounters. It makes you realize how those little moments contribute to a sense of community.
It makes you think, doesn't it? Like, why do we need these random connections? What's the science behind it?
Well, there's this Stanford sociologist, Mark Granovetter, who talks about the strength of weak ties. He basically says that the number of social interactions, even with strangers, can be more beneficial than the quality of a few close relationships. It's about expanding your social net, so to speak.
Expanding your social net. I like that. So it's not just about deep connections, but also about the breadth of your interactions?
Precisely. Think of it like a safety net. Your close friends and family form the core, but those little interactions with strangers, a thank you to the cashier, a quick chat with a dog walker, they're what expands the edges of that net, making it stronger and more resilient.
That's a great analogy. So are you saying that even small talk can boost our well being?
That's what the research suggests. A 2023 study found that people who regularly engage in minimal interactions with strangers, like greetings or small talk, report higher levels of happiness. Small talk is like an emotional vitamin. Hmm.
You are so right. I hadn't really thought about small talk that way. Sometimes you just need some acknowledgement. If you enjoy what you just heard, smash that like button and subscribe.
For sure, and it's easier than we think. The article mentions how we tend to overestimate the difficulty of connecting with strangers, and a study even found that people who were initially hesitant actually enjoy these interactions more than they expected.
Yeah, I can see that. It's like we build it up in our heads to be this big, scary thing, but it's often just a simple hello or a shared smile.
Absolutely. And those little moments of connection, they remind us that we're part of something bigger. Plus, there's even evidence suggesting that these weak ties can have positive effects on our physical health. More connections could mean lower mortality risk. It's kind of mind blowing.
Wow, really? It sounds counterintuitive, but it makes sense when you think about access to information and support. Like, knowing more people might mean you're more likely to get help when you need it.
Exactly. Like having someone to call in a pinch or just getting a different perspective on things. It's all about building that network, even if it's just one hello at a time. Also, remember to follow us for more deep dives into everyday life. What do you think?
It's food for thought, for sure. I think the takeaway here is to be more open to those small interactions, to embrace the nearness of strangers and see where it leads. It might just lead to a happier, healthier you. And hey, listeners, share your experiences with us in the comments. We'd love to hear your stories.
So it's not just about having a tight knit crew, right? It's about those peripheral connections too. Like we were talking about how vital those seemingly insignificant interactions can be.
Yeah, those weak ties, as that sociologist Granovetter called them. It's like mind blowing that these fleeting encounters can actually have a bigger impact than we realize.
Totally. I was reading more into this, and get this, there's a study from 2023 by Volker, I think, that looked at social networks during lockdown. Turns out losing those everyday interactions with strangers actually made people more lonely.
Oh, really? I guess it makes sense. It's like we're social creatures, right? We crave connection, even if it's just a quick nod to the barista or a smile at someone in the park. And the pandemic really highlighted that.
For sure. There's even an article, I think Parsons wrote it, with this powerful quote, something like, I miss my friends, but I also miss strangers. Like, wow. It really hits home how much those chance encounters contribute to our overall sense of belonging, you know?
Absolutely. It's like those little moments remind us we're part of a larger community. And it's not just about feeling connected, it's about actual tangible benefits too. Didn't you mention something about physical health?
Oh, right. There's growing evidence that these weak ties can lower mortality risk. Isn't that wild? More connections, longer life. I mean, it sounds crazy, but, the research is there. Hmm.
Yeah, that is wild. I wonder why that is. Maybe it's because knowing more people gives you access to more support and information. Like, if you're sick, you might be more likely to find someone who can help.
That's a good point. Or maybe it's just like the cumulative effect of all those positive micro interactions boosting your mood and reducing stress. I mean, who knows, right? The thing is, we often underestimate the power of these interactions. There was a study in, 2014, I think, by Dunn and someone else, that found people actually enjoyed talking to strangers more than they anticipated, even if they were nervous about it initially.
Right? It's like we build it up in our heads to be this awkward, scary thing, but it's often just a simple hello or a shared smile. And those tiny moments can totally brighten your day. Also, listeners, a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying this chat. Now, where were we? Right, the overthinking.
So, like we were saying, these little interactions, they really do matter. I was looking at this study from 2023 by Volker and Aiden, and get this, they found that even simple things like saying thank you or just greeting someone can boost your life satisfaction. Crazy, right?
Oh, really? So it's not just about like deep conversations, it's also about acknowledging each other, even in passing? Yeah? That makes sense, actually. It's like a little reminder that you're not invisible.
Exactly. It's like a little validation boost. And, it's easier than we think to connect. There's this other study, Boothby and others in 2018, and they found this liking gap. Basically, we tend to overthink how strangers perceive us. We think they'll judge us or whatever, but they usually like us more than we think. If you find our conversation interesting so far, don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment. Now back to what I was saying. So we should not be afraid to interact with strangers. Hmm.
That's so true. We build it up in our heads like it's this big deal, but most people are probably just as nervous about approaching others, right? So if you're nervous, others likely are too, which should give you confidence.
Totally. And those small, seemingly insignificant interactions can actually be more powerful than we realize. There's this 2014 study by Sandstrom and Dunn. Yeah, Dunn. And they found that these minimal social interactions actually increase feelings of belonging and positive effect. It's like an instant mood booster.
Oh, that's interesting. So, like, even just a quick chat with the barista can brighten your day. So, it's not just about getting your caffeine fix, but also a quick, friendly exchange.
Precisely. It's about those micro connections. And get this, there's growing evidence that these weak ties can even have positive effects on our physical health. I was reading about Kauppi, Kawachi, and Batty. I think that's right, and they're doing some fascinating work on social connections and mortality risk. Hmm.
Wait, really? More connections, longer life? That's wild. How does that even work? Is it like knowing more people gives you access to better healthcare, maybe? Or,
Or like maybe it's the combined effect of less stress and easier access to information. Like knowing more people could expose you to different health tips or even just encourage healthier habits, right?
yeah, yeah, that makes sense. It's like that saying, a burden shared is a burden halved. But instead of burdens, it's like health knowledge or support.
Exactly. And it's not just about quantity, though, right? It's also about the quality of these interactions. Like a genuine smile or a kind word can go a long way.
Oh, for sure. I mean, who doesn't love a friendly barista? It's like those little moments of positivity really do add up.
Totally. Remember that study, the one from 2023 by Volker and Aiden? They found that minimal interactions with strangers, like saying thank you or offering a greeting, actually increased people's reported life satisfaction. Hmm.
Oh, really? So even just acknowledging someone's existence can boost their mood? That's pretty powerful stuff. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell.
It is. And it's like way easier than we think to connect with strangers. We often overthink it. There's this thing called the liking gap, and it basically means we underestimate how much strangers like us. They found that like people consistently enjoyed interactions with strangers more than they initially predicted.
That's so true. It's like we build it up in our heads, all this anxiety and stuff, but more often than not, it turns out to be a positive experience. It's like in a game of poker, right? The other player likely has a pair of twos, but we overthink it as if they have a royal flush.
Exactly. And it's not just small talk, right? Even just peripheral connections, like you've probably never talked to most of your neighbors, they matter too. Hmm.
Yeah, it's all part of that social net we were talking about. Like, your close friends are the core, but those weak ties, they're what make it strong and resilient. Like that study by Collins in 2022, relational diversity.
Right. Having that broader network, even if it's just made up of casual acquaintances, can be super beneficial for our well being. Think of it like diversifying your investments. You don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Makes total sense. And hey, listeners, have you ever had a surprisingly positive interaction with a stranger? Share your stories in the comments below. We'd love to hear them.
So, we were talking about those weak ties, right? And how important they are for our well being. But, like, what about quality versus quantity? Does it really matter if you're just exchanging pleasantries with a stranger?
Yeah, that's a good question. Like, is a quick hello really enough to make a difference? I mean, it's not like you're forming a deep, meaningful connection, right?
Right. But get this 2023 study by Volker and Aiden, they found that even those minimal interactions, like saying thank you or just greeting someone, can actually boost your life satisfaction. It's like mind blowing.
Oh, really? So it's not just about like deep conversations, it's also about acknowledging each other, even in passing? Yeah? It's like a little reminder that you're not invisible. If you're enjoying our insightful banter, hit that subscribe button and join the Cheap Talk family. Back to you.
Totally. A little validation boost. And you know what? It's easier than we think to connect with strangers. We always overthink it, right? There's this thing called the liking gap. Basically, we underestimate how much strangers like us, and there are studies that show people consistently enjoy interactions more than they initially thought they would. So don't hold back. Hmm.
So true. We build it up in our heads, all this anxiety and stuff, but it often turns out to be a positive experience. Like crossing the street to avoid someone, so unnecessary. Most people are probably just as nervous about approaching others as we are. And hey, if you've had a surprisingly positive interaction with a stranger, drop a comment below. Let's spread the good vibes.
Absolutely. And those small, seemingly insignificant interactions, yeah, they can be way more powerful than we realize. There's this 2014 study by Sandstrom and Dunn, yes, Dunn again, and they found that those minimal social interactions actually increase feelings of belonging and positive effect. It's like an instant mood booster.
Oh, that's fascinating. So even just a quick chat with the barista, right? It's not just about the coffee, it's that quick, friendly exchange. I am totally guilty of putting in my AirPods to avoid interaction, but you are making me think twice about it.
Exactly. It's about those micro connections. And get this, there's growing evidence that these weak ties can even have positive effects on our physical health. I was reading about some researchers, Koppy, Kawachi, and Batty, and they're doing fascinating work on social connections and like mortality risk. Wild, right?
Wait, really? More connections, longer life? That's crazy. So how does that work? Is it like knowing more people gives you access to better healthcare, maybe? Or is there something more to it? What do you think?
Right? Like maybe it's less stress or easier access to information and support. Knowing more people could mean you're more likely to hear about helpful resources or get a different perspective on things when you're facing a challenge. It's like crowdsourcing your well-being almost. What do you think?
Yeah, that makes total sense. It's like a burden shared is a burden halved, right? But instead of burdens, it's like health knowledge or emotional support.
Precisely. And to wrap things up, I think the key takeaway here is to remember that even small interactions with strangers can have a surprisingly big impact on our lives. Don't underestimate the power of a smile, a quick hello, or a simple thank you. You never know, it might just brighten someone's day, and yours too. And that's it for today's episode of Cheap Talk. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment. Until next time, stay cheap, but think big. Bye!
Catch you later, listeners.